Hey, what's going on everyone? So today we're going to be reviewing the Litheli 20-liter car backpack refrigerator slash cooler. This is a 12-volt fridge that runs off a battery pack or 12-volt or 120-volt AC. Now you do not get the AC charger included, but I'm going to show you everything that is included that comes with this and some of the amazing new upgraded features of this new one versus the original old one that I've been using for 2 years now. Now I do want to disclose that Litheli did send me this for testing and review, but as always, we'll put it through its paces, show you exactly how it performs. And if you guys are interested in picking one of these up after watching this video, I'll put links down below in the description. They will be affiliate links as well as a coupon code to save you guys a few bucks. So if you're interested, please consider using that link and that coupon down below. Now, I have loved this cooler for 2-day trips. Very small and portable to take with you in a vehicle. But if you guys seen my review video 2 years ago, there's one major thing that I said needed upgraded, and it is finally upgraded in these newer models. And that's the fact that the battery that this runs on in here, there's one spot here that it clips into, runs on these Litheli batteries, which can also be used as USB-C power banks that output up to, I believe, 45 watts. But in the original cooler, that battery did not recharge when you were running off a 12-volt DC or AC. In the new cooler, when you have it plugged in running from your vehicle, it will recharge this battery. Or if you have it plugged into your home, if you purchase this additional 12-volt adapter to plug into your 120-volt outlet to run this fridge from your home, then it will also recharge this battery. Now, one thing I want to note about that, it does not charge that battery completely up. It stops it right around 82%. I'm not sure why it does that. It cuts the voltage once it hits about 20.9 volts. But once the power shuts off, the battery's really only about 20.2 volts charged, which is somewhere in the 80% range. So you do lose a little bit of capacity. If you want the max capacity out of this cooler, you are gonna have to take these batteries out and charge them with a USB-C power brick that is not included, by the way, but most of you have those lying around from phones, iPads, and other devices. You could charge these batteries up with those, which is awesome. I use these batteries for everything. I have their weed whacker, their blower that I use every week, their self-propelled lawnmower. I use it weekly to cut my grass, and I also have their snow blowers that I use in the wintertime that all run off these batteries. So I'm always excited to get a new product because then I get extra batteries to go with all my other tools that I use all the time. So that's the first major upgrade, and to be honest, that's probably one of the only reasons to upgrade with this new model versus the old model. If you have the old model, like I said, still a great cooler. You just got to know the limitation of it running off the battery. When you stop your vehicle, it will deplete that battery, and then when you start it back up, it will not recharge it. Like I said, this one does that. The next upgraded feature is this new model has a single clamp right here to open your lid. On the older model, you had to flip this flap up, and then it had a zipper that went all the way around. Not bad because it keeps it sealed up nice. However, that zipper could be a pain in the butt sometimes if you're trying to reach around in your car to just pop this open real quick to grab a drink. This one's a lot easier with this clamp right here. You just clamp that and open it up. And on the lid on this one, it's more secure because you have two hinges back here. On the original version, there is no hinges and this lid falls back and it's kind of floppy. The only thing holding it is this case, which is still really secure, but now the lid will stay up. And also the seal is different on the new model. The old model had a foam seal on both the lid and the base. On the new model, it has a rubberized seal up on the lid and still that foam seal on the base. So a little bit better for sealing there, in my opinion, and a lot easier to maneuver that lid up and down out of the way. This model here also comes with a detachable shelf on the front. It has these 1/4 mounts here, and this shelf is easily able to slide down onto here and mounts with this one screw here. So very easy to take off just by removing these 2 screws and sliding this off if you don't want it on there. And then it has your lever here, one on each side to put the tray down. But this is nice because you can open your cooler up, take your drinks out, have a little spot for your drinks to keep them up off the ground, a little area to make a sandwich, and then you're able to put your stuff back in there. On this cooler, what we would do all the time is we would get the stuff out, flip this down, make our sandwiches on here, and then you have to move everything to get back in the cooler. So this is nice that it has a shelf on it here. Just keep in mind, it is pretty slippery on that shelf. It's a little more heavy duty being metal, but it does make it just a hair heavier than if it were aluminum. But what is cool is if you have one of these magnetic power banks here, this is a 250 watt power bank that I use with some of my other coolers. You can actually magnetize it right to that metal shelf. So that's pretty neat there. And this is about the equivalent of 3 of these batteries. So there's another option to run this thing for an extended period of time. It would have been cool to see cup holders in here, like in a foldable chair. That way drinks could sit down in and not fall off of here, but then you wouldn't have your flat surface for making sandwiches either. Now they do make another model that has an attachment on the bottom with wheels and has shelves that flip up on the sides as well. However, I noticed on the reviews on that model, the side shelves get in the way of using the handles, and I didn't feel like I needed the wheels because you can only store so much in these coolers. I would rather have the small compact portability than to have the one with the wheels and the handle and be able to wheel it around. And just like their original model, this is a backpack cooler. You could wear it on your back if you wanted to. Very easy to get off grid to your remote campsites. But go back and watch my original video where I took it on a hike through the woods, and you'll see that if you load these things to the max, they are still pretty heavy, and sometimes I have back problems or my back hurts a lot, and it was hurting my back by the end of that trip. So it's really meant for the last mile. It's not meant to hike all day, but still awesome that you could throw this thing on your back and take it to your campsite as long as it's not too far away. And this model includes bungees up top to secure the camping mat that they do give you with this cooler. On this model, it had a flap, which I really never used, and then it had this on the front, which I also never used because I'm not sure what you're going to put in there and keep on the front. So much nicer having this on the top. You can take your camping mat out and set it up for your picnic. And it is actually a lot bigger than what I thought it was going to be. When I looked online, I just thought it was going to be one of them foam, almost like a yoga mat, but it's a fairly decent size here. I'm 5'7.5". There's enough room for me to lay down on it. So enough room for 2 people and the cooler. Pretty nice to have that included for small picnics. Another nice feature about the new one is that this side compartment here unzips to make it a little bit wider to allow you to store 4 batteries in here. It allows you to run on the 1 battery and to store 3 extras. On the original version, you could not hold that many batteries in here. You would have to put them in the upper compartments or carry them in something else. So very nice that they give you extra storage there. And then in this side, you have plenty of room to store your DC and AC power adapter. But like I said, it only comes with the DC power adapter that you can plug into your cigarette lighter. If you want it to run off of AC, purchase that adapter separately. And it also comes with a strap here that you can use to strap to the headrest of your car when this is in on your seat. That way it doesn't fall off. You got the rings here on the top you can attach it to, and you also have some rings down here on the bottom if you wanted to attach it down below. Or you can also use that strap and purchase this additional mount that they offer that clips right onto the rack of a bicycle, and then you could carry this on the side of your bike. I showed that in the video of the first cooler that I reviewed 2 years ago, so go check that out if you want to see how it mounts on a bicycle. The one thing I would recommend is putting a piece of foam padding down here when you mount it so that that's not resting up against your bicycle frame, wearing it out and taking the paint off. I mentioned that in my first video, and I thought they would have updated this by now, so maybe they can update that bracket in the future to be more padded. That way it doesn't scrape or scratch the frame of your bicycle. And you can get this cooler in 2 versions. Currently, as of me filming, this is $300 without the batteries and $330 with 2 of the 4 amp hour batteries. And what's awesome is these batteries always end up going on sale for around $15 for a 4 amp hour battery, and that's a crazy good deal. And on one of those batteries, you can run anywhere between 4 to 7 hours depending on the temperature, what you have inside, and what temperature you have it set to. But keep in mind, that's off a fully charged battery, not if it was unplugged at about 80-some%. So if you want to run max time on these batteries, just take them out, make sure they're fully charged, and you're good to go. In fact, we've been running on battery now here since I unplugged it and came out to start this video. It's been running for 26, almost 27 minutes now at 32 degrees. That's what I like to keep mine set to, and at 32 degrees, it usually maintains between 35 to 40 degrees, and it keeps stuff super cold in there. So you can see you have tons of room in here. This new one is a little bit bigger capacity than this one. When I reviewed this one, I believe it was a 16 quart or 16 liters. This one is 20, and the difference is it's a little bit wider down here where the bottom compartment goes down in. You have plenty of room in here for a half a gallon of milk, for a carton of orange juice. Still plenty of room above that. Room for a 2 liter if you wanted to put a 2 liter down in there. But on the old cooler, this wasn't as wide, and you could only get 3 cans of pop down below. You couldn't get a 4th one in there. And on this new one, you can actually fit 4 down there now because this is just slightly wider. So very nice to have just that little bit of extra capacity. And right now I have 8 cans of pop in here. a half a gallon of milk, a thing of juice, and two 16.9 ounce waters. And there's still plenty of room for other stuff, so holds ton of stuff for as small as it is. And that's one thing I love about these 12 volt coolers. I have not used an ice cooler since getting my first 12 volt cooler. And the reason is because you don't have to put tons of ice in there that takes up a lot of room and gets your stuff all wet. You have way more room in a smaller cooler for your items because you don't have to worry about ice. And guys, here's another thing I want to show you that's a really cool, inexpensive accessory to have if you have these Litheli batteries and some of their other tools, is this little light here. It runs off any of their U20 batteries. LED light, this flips up. You got two modes here. You got high and low. This light spins around on here almost all the way around. You can put it like that, you can hang it, and these are very inexpensive. I think they had a promotion going where you might get this free or for like 15 or 20 bucks if you purchase some of their other stuff, but it comes with the 2 amp hour battery for that price, and it's 400 lumens. Definitely cool to have for camping or power outages, especially for the price point. Now, the easiest way to get this on as a backpack is if you have it propped up on something on a table. If you're trying to pick this up off the ground and put it on when it's loaded up, it's pretty hard to do. This makes it pretty easy though. You just put this on, clip it down here, make sure everything's tight, tighten these up, and then you're good to go on a backpack hiking trip. So I still have all that pop, and everything I showed you guys that it had in there is in there right now. It's actually not too bad. Not too heavy currently. I am kind of tilted forward because if I stand straight, it wants to pull my back. Like I said, sometimes I have back problems. My back hurts a lot sometimes, but so far, very comfortable, not hurting. Like I said, this would be good for last mile in your trip, or if you're trying to make it to the campsite. Definitely a nice feature to have here. Or if you're going out on a boat, you can strap this thing on your back, get up on your boat. A lot of different scenarios for this thing. If you're looking for something small, portable, and to keep your drinks ice cold, this is definitely it. Now it's down to 18.8 volts, but that's as it's under load, and it is on max mode. We're gonna leave this run out here today. It's 84 degrees out currently. We're gonna just leave it out here and see how long this thing will run until it gets down to about 16 volts. 16 volts at idle is pretty much dead. 20.4, somewhere around there, is fully charged. So we'll wait till it gets down to about 16 volts and check the timer. Oh, and this new one does have a different style fabric on it. It's more of a fabric-y than like a vinyl fill of this one. This one's a little bit easier to clean in my opinion. The new one is supposed to still be waterproof and easy to clean, but I don't think it's going to be quite as easy if you'd get ketchup or something like that on it. On this one, it would wipe right off real easily because of the type of the material. It's still a pretty nice material. I just kind of wish that it had the same material as this one on here. All right guys, so in about an 82 to 84 degree ambient temperature outside, it lasted just over 3 hours and it just shut off. The temperature inside the cooler is currently 34 degrees. You can see here where it was on its downward slope, cooling it down until it died. And it's 82.6 degrees currently outside, 34 degrees inside the backpack. So like I said, just over 3 hours at an 80 degree ambient temperature. I know I said previously 4 to 7 hours, but that was with the test I did inside the house at a 70 degree ambient temperature with nothing in the cooler, and it did last around 7 hours set at 35 degrees. This test today was set at 32 degrees at an 82 to 84 degree Fahrenheit ambient temperature, and then about the last hour I turned it down to 31 degrees. And like I said, just over 3 hours. So I would definitely recommend purchasing a few other batteries so you can get maybe 12 hours out of all 4 of these if they were completely charged. Or you can use a small power station to get even more runtime out of this, and then unlimited runtime off the car battery while it's running or through AC charging. So there you go guys. Hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Like I said, I'll put links down below as well as any coupon codes for you guys to save a few bucks. It'll be an affiliate link. I'll receive a small commission. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please consider subscribing so you see more content like this, and I will see all of you around on the next one. Thanks for watching.